So often we hear no thought, no self, emptiness. And as I've mentioned previously, a little negative, don't you think? We are looking for an awakening, enlightenment. But primarily we're trying to understand the nature of our existence, to find contentment and therefore happiness. Because happiness comes from contentment. It is a symptom of contentment, like sadness is just a symptom of being discontent. Happiness in itself is just an expression of an emotion arising from contentment, as is sadness, an expression of an emotion arising from being discontent. So when we can find a more permanent form of contentment, an aspect of ourselves that is constant, and put our faith, abide in this, we establish a more steady, a more constant form of contentment and therefore continued happiness. So rather than looking at emptiness and not self, let's look at it like this. What are we? As I've mentioned previously, we are solid, liquid, gas, fire, or burning, temperature. But within us, within our makeup, physically, we are made up of so much space, as is the outside world. We only notice the objects, the things around us. We fail to see what is the majority, the space between the objects, the space around us, and the infinite space of the universe. Like when we're sitting in meditation, we notice the feelings, the physical feelings of our bodies. We notice what's coming in through our sense windows of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And the thoughts as they arise, the thoughts as they pass away. But we fail to see the space between the thoughts. The times when we're not seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. We'll notice the pain, but we won't notice the absence of pain. When we draw our awareness, our attention to this absence, to this spaciousness, to these gaps between the sounds, we can bring our conscious awareness into a very peaceful place. And what we must understand is that very peaceful, spacious abiding is always there. Whatever your environment, wherever you are, in this moment, here and now, with you, is spaciousness, both physically, in the space, in your body and surrounding you, and mentally, in your mind, surrounding the thoughts and between the thoughts. Silence is between the sounds, and silence is where the sounds exist. The understanding of this continuum, this constant in our lives, gives us reference, gives us a basis. By simply stopping, bringing your awareness to the ground beneath your feet, And breathing, bringing your awareness to the breath, a constant in our lives, which is in our body and right in this very moment, is how we keep reminding ourselves throughout our busy, tumultuous lives that there is spaciousness, there is silence with us all of the time. We can also enjoy the surrounding distractions without guilt. Enjoy beauty, enjoy pleasures, enjoy the satisfaction of sensual desires, as long as you know this is impermanent, temporary alleviation to dissatisfaction, temporary contentment, maybe to satisfy physical needs, maybe to just satisfy your mental desires, but with the understanding and knowledge that this is impermanent, anicca, very temporary relief to your ongoing dissatisfaction. By knowing that, you can do this with an understanding that means your resting place, your fallback, your home, your abiding, is within the spaciousness inside. Not emptiness, not a place of nothing, no thought, no self, but a spacious environment where this conventional human existence abides, but with the all-important citta, that knower, that conscious awareness, sitting comfortably, observing, enjoying, understanding, helping, but most importantly, knowing. And always coming back to the knowing, understanding that all things are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and out of our control, with the exception of our ultimate goal of nibbana. And one step towards nibbana is to understand spacious awareness, silence between the sounds, an absence of feeling, but all in a positive light of peaceful abiding. So I hope you find this concept of spaciousness within us something you can understand by your own experience. Try it out for yourselves. It's not for me to offer you something to try and believe, but to actually try and do and know. And you can know this. Just stop. Don't stop or try to stop thinking. Just stop and watch your thinking. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the bodily sensations, the mental emotions. Bring your awareness to these and notice the space between. Space between thoughts, space between sounds, the absence of feelings between feelings. This is where there is a continuum, a constant in our lives. So enjoy this. Enjoy the positivity of it. And see for yourselves how positive outcome from this can change your lives so much. Namo Buddhaya.